ready to add that holiday decor, but you're just not comfortable crafting, it's time to head to the store. Better Homes and Gardens expert Madison shows us how to make the most of a store-bought wreath.
This wreath's a natural for the holidays with layers of beautiful seasonal colors and textures. This wreath combines favorite fall elements with beautiful holiday greenery. To get started, I've purchased a wreath of fresh greens. I'm going to dress it up a little bit with some natural elements of my own. Boxwood is the first addition, and it is a wonderful thing to add to wreaths because as it dries, it turns a beautiful shade of green that really differentiates it from the greenery that's already in the wreath. When you're adding the boxwood, make sure that you're working in the direction that the greenery is already going. I have a whole assortment of other natural elements. I have some grasses and some lemon leaves, but I'm going to start with pine cones because they need to be attached with a little bit of floral wire. This is a great tip anytime you want to add any element that's going to be wired on. Start at the back of the wreath and push the wire through to the front. Then make a loop and work the other end of the wire through until you have both ends showing in the front. Stick your pine cone in and simply twist right around the pine cone, making sure it's nice and secure. All my natural elements are going to be added in around the pine cones. No matter what elements you have, start with the biggest elements and then work down to the smallest and most fragile. Our lemon leaves happen to be the biggest, so we're going to place the lemon leaves at the base of these pine cones. After the lemon leaves, the next biggest element that I have are these grasses. And they're also going to be placed next to the pine cones, followed by these grasses, and you've got yourself a cluster. Once you have your natural elements placed in the wreath, you're ready to add a bow. It's fine to use a store-bought bow, but if you want to create your own bow, it gives you a lot of options as far as size is concerned and color of the ribbon. I want my bow to cover the entire width of the wreath, so I have made my loops just about the same width. It's all about the figure eights for this bow and the loops. So I'm working in a figure eight pattern and cinching it in the middle. To make sure that you have a nice and full bow, about 16 loops is appropriate. Looks like I've got enough now, so I'm going to bunch it up in the middle. Take another one of my floral wires and wrap it up in the middle. Nice and tight. Snip that extra end off. And you're ready to start fluffing, which is the part that makes the bow so beautiful. And pull those loops towards the center a little bit so that you cover up the section that you tied with the floral wire. And there you go. This is a great time to accentuate where your clusters are, right around the pine cones, by adding a decorative ribbon. It's also wonderful to fill in any holes that you might have with some ribbon, and it adds that nice pop of color. The best part about using all these natural elements is that each wreath is going to look a little bit different, just the way that nature intended.